You know the names: Cosa Nostra, Yakuza, Ndrangheta. But do you know their true power in 2025? Forget the Hollywood stereotypes of pinstripe suits and turf wars. The real influence of these organizations has evolved, becoming a quiet, pervasive force that reaches far beyond crime and into the very fabric of our modern world. Today, we're pulling back the curtain to expose the shocking, unseen global threads these groups wield. We're going to count down the top 3 ways the modern mafia is silently shaping your world, and it's far more sophisticated and widespread than any movie has ever dared to show you. So, buckle up, because what you're about to learn will change how you see the world. Let's start with number 3, mastering the digital underworld. When you think of organized crime, you probably picture back alley deals, not sophisticated cyber operations. But that's exactly where the game has changed. Modern syndicates are investing heavily in cybercrime, not just as a side hustle, but as a core part of their business. They're behind massive ransomware attacks that cripple hospitals, city governments, and major corporations. Think about it. The data of millions held hostage. They don't just demand money. They use this chaos to create opportunities for money laundering and market manipulation. They recruit top-tier hackers, creating global networks that are almost impossible to trace. These groups are also pioneers in the dark web, controlling vast marketplaces for everything from stolen data to illicit goods. They've turned anonymity into an asset, laundering billions through cryptocurrencies and a complex web of shell companies that exist only as lines of code. This isn't just about stealing your credit card number. It's about destabilizing entire digital infrastructures for profit, making the digital world a new, untamed frontier for their operations. Coming in at number 2 is something that affects us all: the corruption of legitimate economies. The old image of mobsters strong-arming small business owners is outdated. Today's strategy is far more insidious. These organizations have become masters of corporate infiltration. They don't just extort businesses, they own them. Using immense profits from their illegal activities, they pour money into legitimate sectors like real estate, construction, transportation, and even green energy. Why? Because it's the perfect way to launder money and gain political influence. Imagine a massive new construction project in your city. The concrete, the logistics, the waste disposal, all could be controlled by companies that are secretly fronts for a powerful syndicate. They win public contracts through bribes and intimidation, ensuring a steady stream of clean money. This allows them to manipulate market prices, undercut legitimate competitors, and slowly gain monopolistic control over essential industries. It's a silent takeover. They're not just outside the system looking in. They are becoming part of the system itself, weaving their influence so deeply into the economy that it becomes nearly impossible to untangle. This financial power gives them a seat at tables where major decisions are made, influencing policy and law from the inside out. And now for the number 1 most significant global influence of the modern mafia: the weaponization of global crises. This is where their power becomes truly chilling. Whenever there is instability in the world, a pandemic, a war, a refugee crisis, an environmental disaster, these organizations see opportunity. They thrive on chaos. During global health emergencies, they've been caught trafficking counterfeit medical supplies and vaccines, preying on the desperation of millions. In conflict zones, they control smuggling routes, not just for weapons, but for essential goods like food, fuel, and medicine, creating artificial scarcities to drive up prices and consolidate power. They are also major players in human trafficking, exploiting the millions displaced by war and poverty. They manage the entire logistical chain, from recruitment in desperate communities to transportation across dangerous borders. Furthermore, they're getting involved in environmental crime. Think illegal dumping of toxic waste, which poisons land and water for generations, or illegal logging and mining, which devastates ecosystems. They exploit weak regulations and corrupt officials in developing nations to turn a huge profit, with devastating long-term consequences for the planet. Their ability to adapt and profit from suffering on a global scale is what makes them such a persistent and dangerous threat in the 21st century. They don't just react to crises, they actively exploit and, in some cases, even help perpetuate them for their own gain. So, from digital pirates to corporate raiders and crisis profiteers, the modern face of these syndicates is one of sophisticated global influence. The fedoras and shootouts have been replaced by encrypted servers, offshore bank accounts, and boardroom takeovers. Their power is no longer just about controlling the streets. It's about controlling the systems that run our world, finance, technology, and even our response to global emergencies. They have become a shadow state, operating in the gaps of international law and exploiting the vulnerabilities of our interconnected society. Understanding this evolution is the first step toward recognizing the true scale of the challenge we face. It's a silent war being fought not in alleys, but in boardrooms, on the dark web, and in the heart of global crises. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive. If this opened your eyes, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that uncovers the hidden forces shaping our world. Drop a comment below with your thoughts or any topics you'd like to see covered next. Stay curious, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.